Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new Football Manager 2022 series here on YouTube. This is a Building a Nation save. We are in Latvia, we're managing FK Metta, and yes, for anyone who asks, the only reason I picked this team is because I could do the nobody does it meta pun, and that's why we're calling the series that name. Pretty much very simple, we're just going to get right into this here. It's nearly mid-September, the new game is going to be out in a couple of months. If you've been subscribed to this channel before, you may remember I had some series that I deleted all in a mad episode. I just decided to get rid of everything and restart the whole channel. So if you're coming back, welcome back. If you're brand new, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you don't get too bored of my voice. And we are going to try and turn this team here, FK Metta, into the best team in the world. And we're going to try and turn the Latvian league, the Versliga, I believe it's pronounced as, into the best league in Europe. To do that is it's very simple, but it's very hard at the same time. So obviously we need to build our own team, qualify for the Champions League, win competitions, win the league, basically build a youth academy while also supplementing the rest of the country with talent that we sign. So if you've ever seen the Building a Nation save before, they're pretty much all the same formula. You can only really do so much within the genre. The key thing is these series take time. Now, one of the things I'm going to do, and you'll see by the title of this episode, it's Season 1, not Episode 1. I am basically going to do this as a recap save. We're not going to play any games beyond possibly cup finals, league deciders, until we get to a certain level, because we've got 6 teams we can play in this league, and we play them multiple times. I think we play them 4 times each in total, which isn't the most exciting series to watch. And also, if I did it per, multiple episodes per season, we would be here until, mid-March or something next year. So we're going to do it season by season. I am going to be upfront and say that for some of the games, like cup games, I might just use the instant result function on the game, just because the first few seasons it's all about just progressing the team up. It's not going to be that exciting the first few years, to be brutally honest. So we're going to build up the team, build the nation, and dominate European football with a Latvian team, because I like the pun that I could do for the title. I have always wanted to do one of these saves, I've just never really found the angle I wanted to go for, so we're going to go with this. Hopefully that sounds interesting to you. We're going to have a quick tour of the team first, and then we will get on to, multiple updates possibly through the season. I don't quite know at this moment in time how the first episode is going to look until I get it edited together. What you're seeing is, of course, the end result. FK Metta have never won the top flight in Latvia before, which is part of the reason we've picked them, because most of the other teams in this league have. Part of the challenge, of course, is to get ourselves over that hurdle. The team was formed in 2006. They are fully professional with a 1-star reputation, okay finances, and we're predicted to finish bottom. There is, however, no relegation out of this league, and crucially, if you finish top 4, you can potentially get a Conference League qualifying spot. So you don't have to get up the league very far to get into Europe. Obviously that depends on the cup winner, but as you can see, we enter the Champions League, and then there's 3 spots potentially for the Conference League. We just need to build ourselves through, obviously, those setups, which is going to be the challenge. We can have a maximum of 15 foreign players, a maximum squad of 30, so I'm hoping that means we should be able to build quite a decent squad when the money comes in. On the money front, we are a little bit over the wage budget, but we do actually have some transfer budget, which I might just convert to wage, depending on what that's going to look. Yeah, it gives us an extra like 800 quid in wage budget, which might be more important this season as we try to compete on multiple levels. The projection's not great. We didn't think it would be right now though. On that note, what do we actually get for winning the league? I forgot to look at that. It doesn't say how much you get for winning the league, so possibly you get nothing. I don't know. We are using a database that has been installed. I think it's by Timo, who still does those updates, and we're also using the FM Inside update up to the 2nd of September 2022, so any current day transfers will have been made by and large. If we look at the squad, it's a decent team. I think we've got quite a bit of ability here. Obviously this is relevant to the rest of the squad and the league, but we do have a few good players in here. I think the main one is going to be Caljw, I believe I'm probably pronouncing these really badly. If you're Latvian or you know Latvian and you want to let me know. But he's pretty decent. He can kind of play everywhere in the midfield to some degree. And he's only 28 as well, so that could be useful. He is out of contract at the end of the year, so we might have to try and renew him. We've also got Yunusa Muratala, who is a striker who's, again, he's okay. I'd like more off the ball. I'd like a higher finishing, but he is a target man. If I can find his height, yeah, he's 6'2", so he could be a bit of a presence up in the air. We've got Yanis Grinbergs, who is a pretty good winger. He's decent crossing, decent dribbling, decent pace and acceleration. And in terms of anybody young who we've got 15-year-old Alexander Timofeyevs, I think it's pronounced, who's actually alright as a shadow striker. We could possibly change him into a different position. We'll have a look at that as time goes. He's under contract for 3 years. We've got Bruno Melnis. Yeah, he's not very good. And two 17-year-olds with 3.5-star current ability. Lukas Vapne, who's okay. Again, another shadow striker ideally. And Yegors Novikovs, who, I don't think he's very good, for being honest. And another striker as well, Artyoms Puzarevskis. So we've got a few people on amateur contracts as well, which is good because it saves us some money in the long run. And we've got a pretty young squad. Everybody is under 21 or under except Kluskins. And we don't have anybody... Do we have anybody kicking around down here? If he's the best one, then not really. But obviously these guys will all be generated for the save. But we'll see if anybody here is kicking around that's worthwhile. Tactic-wise, I don't know yet what we're going to do. We're going to build the team first and then ideally pick a formation to play. And I will see you guys possibly mid-season. I might come back on transfer deadline, show you who we've brought in, show you who's left, and then it might be again transfer deadline, whenever the next transfer deadline is in Latvia, and then end the season. I think we're just going to do 20 to 30 minute episodes, more recap style, think more in line of something like what Second Yellow Card sometimes does, where it does those end of season stat videos. We're not going to be as in-depth in that. I just don't see the point in playing all of the games on camera when it's going to take us a long time. Possibly if we do a save in FM23, obviously we'll go more in-depth. But I think for now, it's more about fun. Can we do it? What can we do? On that note, the league table currently is 88th in Europe. Now, we are behind multiple second-tier leagues, third-tier leagues. Where are we? 88th, I said, yeah? Yeah, 88. We are behind, leagues in Lithuania, Finland, Norway, Bulgaria, Romania, League 2 in England, Montenegro, the Scottish Championship. We're pretty far down the list. The good news is we should, if we have a semi-decent run in Europe at any point, be able to leapfrog a bunch of these leagues and hopefully get ourselves into around the 50s range. Once we can get ourselves there, it's all about trying to push forward. But we'll be back after the deadline's finished and I'll show you what we've done. And that is the transfer window now over. We have managed to bring in 6 players of varying degrees of quality, and we're going to quickly run through them now, and then we'll get ready for the first game of the season in the league. So we initially brought in Raivis Vitonieks, who is a winger option. Good first touch, decent in the acceleration department and stamina, okay crossing, he's alright. He's pretty much a winger who will come in, start the odd game, maybe be a rotation option as well. Then we have Einars Bloomers, who is a Latvian 21-year-old attacking midfielder, but I'm going to probably play him as a striker. Good off the ball, good finishing, good composure decisions. He's decently quick. He's alright, I would say. For 21 on an amateur contract, we will take him no bother. Ali Barre is a midfield option from Senegal, also on an amateur contract. He's not the best, but he has a few decent attributes. His first touch is okay, good decision making, good work rate. He's decently quick as well. He's not going to be a starter by any means, but he's somebody who could play a part off the bench and as a rotation option as well. Haruna Mola is a Ghanaian player from, I don't know where he's from, I don't know where I said from. But anyway, he's got good stats. He's pretty good, I would say. Good dribbling, finishing, first touch, determination, composure. He's off the balls alright. His technique's good. He's decently fast. I think he could be very, very good and will be one of our strikers this season for sure. Okay, bear with me on this guy. We've got Bongo Lethu Siasi, who It says he's a fullback, but let's be real here. I'm probably going to play this guy as a centre back. He's fast, he's good heading, decent marking, good tackling, good positioning, decision making. I think he's pretty bloody good for what we need, and he's 18 as well. So he's definitely somebody who could be a big player for us this season. And then lastly we have Alfred Arthur, who was a panic signing because I forgot to sign the left back. So there you go, Alfred's our left back. He's not great. On the outs we only had a couple. I had no say in these decisions. Kokorevich has left. He's alright, but he's just not got the potential or the consistency or nothing about him really. And we also lost Solovjovs, but he is also gone. He's actually pretty okay, but he's just not got any pace, any strength for a centre back. He's 18, and yes, he would grow, but it's not a loss, I would say. So our pre-season was pretty good as well, unbeaten, lots of goals being scored. We're playing BFC Daugavpils, I think, at home in the first game of the season. I said we're just going to play through pretty much until the end of the next transfer window. I'll do all that off camera, and then we'll be back to tell you who we've signed, how we've getting on in the league, and how we're getting on. Quickly tactic as well, we're going for a 4-4-2, but we're going to try and play a possession style of football, shorter passing, bit more expression in the team as well, keep the ball as much as we can, and when we don't have the ball, basically run at them relentlessly, as you do in this game. But I'll be back in just a moment for you guys. For myself, I don't know how long this will take for me to get through, but we're going to play through a bunch of games in the league. So that is the end of the second transfer window in the save in the first season, and as you can see we've signed no one. We've let a few players go, none of them are worthwhile talking about at this stage. They've all gone to lower division teams and everything as well, so there's nothing really interesting there. What is interesting though is our current league position. We are currently in third place in the table. We are tied pretty much equally with Riga. I think we're beating them on head to head, but we're 2 points behind RFS in second, and we're only 6 off the top of the table. But as it stands, with being 9 clear of Spartaks, we are in line for a Europa Conference League first round spot. Well, in the qualifying round, obviously. Be that finishing second or third, fourth, depending on the winner of the cup, which hasn't started yet. Well, it has started, but we've not entered it yet. We enter in another month. I'm pretty happy with how it's going so far. As you can see, Haruna Mola has got 10 goals already. Yunusa Muratala's got 9 as well. Now, both of these guys have managed to play all 15 games, and when you look here, it's pretty obvious if one of or both of these guys went down, we would be screwed because they've scored the majority of our goals. We are quite generous on the assist front, but I mean, if we lose our strikers, we're doomed. Let's put it out. It's as simple as that. Tactic wise, we are still running with the 4-4-2. All I do in games is just change it between the settings of like balanced, and obviously it might be time waste if it's coming near the end of a game, or push on if we're chasing the game. But it's all been pretty smooth sailing so far. I don't really have any complaints. The finances are a bit rough, but that's not this season's issue. Hopefully if we get into the Conference League, we can ideally maybe pick up a couple wins in the early rounds to get some extra money built into the team. It's going pretty well. Started off pretty rough, 3 losses in the first 4 games, but we have only lost 1 since then, with 2 draws and 4 wins. I will learn how to speak eventually and how to read. We don't have much of the season left to go, so I am going to go and play the rest of the season, and hopefully I will be coming back to you to say we've qualified for the Europa Conference League, or ideally even something better. Well, season 1 is done, and I'm sure you'll be delighted to know that we did it. But what did we do? Well, we're going to click some buttons and we're going to find out, aren't we? So we're just going to do the post-season recap wrap thing that the game gives you. So if you click our new arrivals, you'll see obviously our signings, and 16 goals from both of our strikers is an outstanding return. Nobody else really contributed. Grimberg's got 4 with 9 assists, but other than that, pretty bad. And here's how the season finished. So we finished third, an excellent season. We were predicted to come last, we came third, 4 points clear of RFS, despite a pretty poor end to the season. I mean, 4 defeats in our last 8 games, including 2 RFS and 2 Riga. Like, the defeat to Liepāja basically ended the title chances, and the defeat to Riga ended second place. And then the RFS defeat was a real concerning one because that took them to 2 points behind us, I think it was. We managed to limp over the line at least, and we got there in the end. Pretty good. 602 average fans, 5% of the stadium was filled. We'll pick that up, obviously. And in the cup, we did get beat by BFC, which was pretty disappointing, really, because, they finished 6th in the table. A good season. A really, really good season. If we look at the table here, we pretty much hung around in the end up to that stage. The match to remember was a 4-0 win over Spartaks, and another match to remember was another 4-0 win over Valmiera, and the goal of the season was Metta scoring a curler from outside the box. The finances, not great. Not really. No broadcast revenue, no competition prize money. I didn't realise this might be an issue. We'll talk about this guy soon, by the way. We sold 72 t-shirts. Not bad, guys. And there's our end of the season best 11 thing. And accolades. I forgot to mention, I did set myself as a previous international just because I can't really be bothered with the whole coaching badges site. And we're just doing this as a bit of fun. FM22, which as of recording, has actually just been announced for release date of November 8th. It's the 8th of September currently, and that just got revealed to be released for PS5, and it looks like they've got the Champions League, Europa League and Conference League licensing as well, which is excellent news. There will be an FM23 season on the channel as well. We will get around to that, don't worry. But anyway, Muratalla, player of the season, young player of the season, top goal scorer, most man of the matches, highest ever. Muratalla, just an outstanding player. Really. No competition awards. But there we go. It is their highest ever finish in the Versliga, above a 7th place finish beforehand. And I'm pretty happy with how the season has gone. As you can see, there's the league table again. 8 defeats in the year. We really need to try and beat Latvia at some point because we struggled against them quite mightily. A 3-3 draw and 3 defeats. As I said, the finances, the less said, the better about that. Transfer history though, we did sign a player. Now we signed him during the first transfer window. We signed Prince Adu Caljw, but he couldn't play any games for us because he was not registered in time because he joined in 4 games from the end of the season. But he is a 17-year-old striker. He's now 18 from Ghana, and he's pretty tasty really. Good finishing, first touch, dribbling, passing, technique, work rate, off the ball, determination, composure, acceleration, pace, agility, all over 10. Or 10 or over, sorry. Work rate 12, vision 12. He's pretty good. He's only 18 as well. We've got him for 2 years. I'm hoping this guy, we've got Mola and we've got Muratalla, but you never know, they might get pinched from us. So having a backup option as well is really handy. I do realise we've got 2 Ghanaians and a Nigerian as our strike force. We've not got a single Latvian forward. This guy's just amazing. I'll be very happy if we can keep a hold of him. He's worth up to 140,000. Mola is worth up to 60,000. There's the part of you that thinks, do you cash in on Muratalla after a really good season, or do you even cash in on Mola? Because Prince Adu is pretty much there with him in terms of players. Other key players this year, Yanni Bex doesn't count. He played 1 game because he did 3 goals and got a 7.4. But Ulrikes, our centre-back, has had a really strong season as well. 7.18 in the league. Pretty good, all things considered. Kluskins was very good. A little bit injury-prone, I have to say. I hope he gets over that a little bit. For next season, he will still be a good player for us. Who else was a standout? Lucas Vapne, I'm really happy with. He's 18. He's improving. How much he's improving is going to be the real question, but for an 18-year-old having a really strong season, I could do with more assists. He's only got 2, but a 7.06 rating in the league over 20 games. He did miss a little bit of the end of the season in the end with an injury, but I'm pretty happy with how this has gone. We are going to have to do a bit of a rejig, I think. We've got quite a few players' contracts running out, and I do want to try and strengthen because the Conference League's an interesting proposition in that we effectively are going to come in at the first qualifying round. So there's a chance that we could get teams from Faroe Islands, Iceland even, potentially. I think we could probably beat some of the teams in the Icelandic League. We are going to really struggle to get anywhere near the groups. I think I'd be delighted with a 3rd qualifying round if that exists. We will see how that goes. Hopefully you've enjoyed the first video. I know it's been a bit different from our usual FM content. A lot of people will play games on screen. I didn't bother with this season because there's just not really many interesting games. Any cup finals and things like that, I will probably maybe interlude some highlights into the middle of the episode. I will be finishing this episode today with a pretty happy mood about all things considered. I'm very happy with how that first season's gone. I mean, if we go into here actually, the first qualifying round, some of the teams in this list, I mean, even just by reading it, I'm pretty confident we could beat. So hopefully we can do that. If I have a look here as well, our club culture is heavily youth-based as well. There was an article, I can't remember what website it was from, but I nicked one of their pictures for a part of the thumbnail. Apparently this team is pretty much designed to have a youth academy and promote players from within, which we will do, obviously, as well as trying to sign players. And because we have to have, I think it's a minimum of 3 Latvian trained players in the squad, we will want to get players in early, get them trained through our youth academy, and then be registered as Latvian, like to basically play as a registered Latvian. But sign players under the age of 22, develop players using the youth system, play possession football, which we're doing, and play high tempo pressing, which we're also doing, and sell players for a profit as well, which, you know, we will have to do in the first few years, and we're going to try and do that as well to other teams in the league as the aim. If you've ever seen the Building the Nation save, you'll know that's a big part of it. Providing the other teams in the league with really good players on like cut price deals compared to like selling them to a bigger European team to get everybody to finish as best as they can, especially in Europe. But there you go. Avoid finishing bottom of the league for the next 5 seasons. I mean, we're hoping to win the league within the next 5 seasons if we're being brutally honest. But Conference League, be competitive. We can do that. We're happy with this current vision. We'll accept that on camera. Well, not on camera because I've not got the camera on because it's really rubbish quality and I've not set up the lighting in the new house yet. Excellent job, well done. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. I'm aiming to get this released ideally tomorrow, which is Friday the 9th of September, and I've got a bit of free time at the moment, so I'm hoping to be able to barrel through seasons quite quickly. I'm basically playing this while watching YouTube, podcasts, listening to music, things like that. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys possibly Monday. The next episode might come out. I might do like 3 episodes a week. I'm not sure yet on the current format. But please hit subscribe. Please hit like. I'll see you guys for season 2. And hopefully I'll have some good news regarding the Europa Conference League. Thank you very much for watching. And goodbye.